Well, while most of the theme park world is looking forward to Epic Universe opening in May of this year, but another Universal park that is on the horizon potentially that is starting to get a little bit of headlines and something I think a lot of people overseas are looking forward to is the potential UK Universal Studios, as it has been proposed over there. And it seems like, this is according to The Mirror, that the UK Universal Studios theme park is to get the go-ahead within weeks, with a Florida-style resort coming to the market town there. So we're going to read through this article and get some thoughts on it, because I'm actually not up to date really on a lot of the things going on with the UK Universal Studios park. So I'm looking to gain some knowledge on here as well. So we're going to read through this and get some thoughts. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic, and this is from The Mirror. This is the 4-zone park and 500-room hotel is expected to create 20,000 jobs during construction, boost local businesses, and pump £50 billion into the UK economy. It says the British Universal Studios theme park is set to get the final go-ahead within weeks, according to The Mirror. Only the Treasury is left to sign off on financial arrangements for the plan, which would see a full-scale Florida-style resort built near Bedford. The plan would see a 4-zone park and 500-room hotel built on the 480-acre plot of land, along with a new train station and 2 transport hubs. And it's expected to create 20,000 jobs, like we said. I said, quote, bringing Universal Studios to Bedford is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the UK, Milton Keynes MP Chris Curtis said. I'm not sure on the British, how these things are set up over there, so I'm not really sure how important he is or not, but that's what he had said. After decades of stalled attempts to establish a world-class theme park in Britain, I will keep campaigning to make this project a reality. Says Mr. Curtis, who co-chairs the Labour Growth Group, added, this investment will put our region on the global map, drive infrastructure improvements, and provide world-class entertainment for families across the country. The new park would take around 6 years to build and would sit on the former site of Kempston Hardwick Brickworks, once the world's largest brickworks in terms of output. It's good to know. I can tell you it's going to be a world-class park with all experiences that people will love based upon the most popular films, video games, and stories that people have enjoyed for decades. Paige Thompson, the company's president in charge of new ventures, told Sky News in June. Said, we've spent the last decade looking all over Europe and the United Kingdom for locations, and we think this is the best location we've ever seen, he added. Our Phase 1 plans consist of a theme park, 500-room hotel, and a dining area that people can come to even if they don't have a theme park ticket. Over time, I would expect that number of hotels to grow. Our intention is that this park would be open 365 days a year, just like all our other major theme parks. We have a whole series of special events like our Halloween Horror Nights and carnival parties, and it just allows us to attract people throughout this time, Paige explained. And this does coincide with what Alicia Stella over at Orlando Park Stop had reported April of last year. They're very much, it's in Bedford. A lot of the similar things they're saying here. So it definitely seems like this has been in the works for a while now. So I don't think it's going to come as any surprise. As far as I can understand about it, there's a lot of red tape, obviously, you have to go through, especially when you're dealing with some of the UK stuff, perhaps. Now, in terms of like what people have wondered what would go here, there's been lots of rumors. I think for sure you would see Harry Potter. I think that's a no-brainer. There's been lots of people that have speculated you could see Lord of the Rings. Some people speculated like Doctor Who. I'm not sure about Doctor Who, given now that they do have some sort of relationship with Disney now. I'm not really sure to exactly what extent, but that may be something that could be a hurdle for that. But it's been something that's been out there for a while. I know a lot of the UK audience has been pretty excited to hear about this. Like I said, I haven't been keeping up on it. I've never been to Great Britain, so I can't speak to anything there other than just what I've seen on TVs and movies and things like that, or on the news. But it does seem like this is moving along. Now, 480 acres, I mean, it's not a nothing plot of land. It's not huge. If you look at Epic Universe, that's like about 1,000 acres or close to that entire area. And then the theme park itself is about 100 acres. So you're probably still looking at a theme park around that size. But it does give them a lot of area to work with over there. And again, this fits into, we talked about Universal not only expanding in Orlando, obviously with Epic Universe and everything they're doing there, but they're doing things in other areas. They've got the Halloween Horror Nights year-round house out in Vegas that is opening up. They have the kids park that's opening up in Frisco, Texas, that they're building right now. I think that's opening within a year or something like that. And then they potentially have this UK park as well, and they're expanding into, Universal Hollywood. They're adding the Fast and Furious coaster out there. So Universal is not only expanding in Orlando, which I think they're going to expand even more in Orlando. Obviously, once Epic Universe opens, I think that's going to continue to go, but they're just doing it in other areas as well. I think they see a very big opportunity, not just in the Orlando area, but kind of everywhere, to expand their offerings, and they got the backing of Comcast, and I have heard from some people that have commented and messaged me. I can't I don't know the validity of how much or what they know or anything like that, but they do say multiple people have said the next big project for Universal is going to be this UK theme park. So in terms of I guess you could say a brand new theme park, it would be the UK more than likely. Now, I think, again, they've already announced that the Universal Studios Orlando, they're going to be replacing Rip Ride Rocket. I do think they're going to go in and add other things into the existing parks as well. But I think a huge project on the scale of Epic Universe is going to be over in the UK, while they still do things in other places. So just because they're going to the UK, I don't think this means they're going to slow down in the Orlando area or any other places like that. Seemingly they're being very aggressive in a different way. If you look at, most people think about Universal versus Disney and this, really in the Orlando area, but I think Universal is thinking bigger in just the Orlando area and looking to compete outside just that area. And, I think it's a very ambitious undertaking. I think it's an ambitious vision for what they want to do. Obviously, I have to wait and see how it all pans out, how it does out in Vegas. I think it's Halloween Horror Nights is a very successful thing for Universal. I don't know if that translates to a year-round haunted house out there. I think it could do very well, but I'm not going to make a guess as to how popular I think that could be. But Vegas is a good spot for something like that, especially around Halloween time. I guess my question with that would be, how does a haunted house do in June and July? Things like that, like when it's not the fall, when it's not the Halloween season, is there still demand for it? But it very well could be. I think the kids park is one. I've said for a while, I think that's a really good idea, given those aren't that expensive to build. You don't need a ton of space to do it, and you're appealing to a demographic that Universal historically really hasn't appealed to, which is the young families and those with little kids. And I think it could be something that they also potentially bring to the Orlando area. I know not everybody agrees on that. I know that's something I've speculated before, that I think you could see that come over to Universal in Orlando also, just given that that would directly compete with Disney in an area where they historically haven't done that, and they would give them another theme park to tout along with not only Epic Universe, but Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, and as well as Volcano Bay. And then you've got the UK stuff going on. So there's a lot of things going on with Universal, lots of moving parts, and it seems like a very ambitious undertaking all across the globe, really. So while Epic Universe is obviously getting a lot of attention and headlines here, I do think, this one, it'll be interesting to see what they put in here and what the appeal for it would be. I think you could see some different IPs over here versus what you would see in the US. So depending what they put over there and what type of, again, I would imagine you would see some sort of Harry Potter Wizarding World sort of land over there. What did they put over there? You could create a scenario where people not only go to Orlando, but they also go over to the UK to experience these Wizarding Worlds that have been very popular for Universal. And I know some people have kind of said they're doing overkill now, doing a third Wizarding World with Epic Universe. But, given that Harry Potter is based in the UK, it makes sense to put it over there. And it also makes sense for Universal to continue to just double down into things that have worked, I suppose, until they don't work. So as of right now, the Harry Potter stuff has been very successful for them. I do think it's still going to be successful in Epic Universe, partially just because of the ride itself. I think is going to be a pretty fantastic ride. Like I said, not sure when construction would begin on this, but from everything that Alicia Stella had even reported last year, they weren't really breaking ground, but there was construction excavators on site. I think they actually had some pictures and people doing so. So it seems like the area in which this park is planning on going, or they've been looking at for a while, is essentially ready to go. So once this gets approved, you very well could see groundbreaking pretty quickly. And again, Universal typically builds pretty quickly. I don't know if that translates to building quickly in the UK as well, but at least here over in the US, Universal Studios does build rather quickly, as Epic Universe has been built even with the COVID interruption. They've been able to build that park pretty quickly compared to some other theme park places. I guess I can just put it that way. But of course, I have to wait and see what the final vote is on this, if it gets approved, and the timelines, and when and if Universal says what's going to go over here. Again, they kind of tend to do things a little different. They may make an announcement about the park, but we didn't learn about the actual lands being really official in terms of Wizarding Worlds and how to train your dragon and things like that with Epic Universe until well into the construction process. So we may not actually know specifically what's going over here until well into construction progress, or until Universal themselves comes out and says what's going to come here. But either way, though, that's going to be it though for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about Universal Studios UK theme park? Is that something that you would like to visit? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.